Welcome back to The Charismatic Voice. I am doing a deep dive into all of the nominees for Best Metal Performance for the 66th Grammy Awards, and I've saved this one for last. That's because I was warned that this video might be a little bit graphic, and if you're sensitive like I am, then I wish you a very sturdy stomach. Let's get to it. I hate this already, and I want to watch it more again already. Oh, ew. But like really cool sounds. Whoa. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Hopefully it's easier the second time. No. So like one pitch bend is enough for me. Like that, it's just, it makes me cringe. I feel like things are crawling up my skin. And then the way that they rewound it and did it again, oh my gosh, I feel like Slipknot has watched my videos and knows exactly what things make me cringe the most in this moment. So like they're nailing all of them. Ugh! Okay, ooh. No, so the way that those pitches start apart and then they're actually bending at different rates, like that is extra gross, and then they're repeating it. Yuck. Oh God. And then add to that like serrated edges. Jeez. That really feels like a horror film there. I don't watch horror films anymore because I literally will have nightmares for years and years and years. In fact, I watched Tremors again recently. I know y'all are saying Tremors isn't a horror film. But I had nightmares about that a lot as a kid, and I watched it again as an adult, and I still hated it so much. It just reminded me of all of the awful, awful nightmares and experiences and memories around Tremors. I can't even watch Tremors again without not being able to sleep well for several weeks. I have a problem, apparently. I'm very sensitive. Yeah, this is gonna give me nightmares already. I can tell. Ugh. So dissonant. It's so much pitch bend in so many different ways. So this section right in here has a certain exotic nature to it. It's sitting off of a more exotic scale, essentially. And there's something about the craze of it that reminds me a little bit of System of a Down. There's just like this sort of recklessness that's happening. Overall, I've been hearing so much chaos in the sound, and I think it's very intentional chaos. It makes me feel discombobulated. Wow. Oh, brutal. Oh, stomach twister. Oh, gosh. Oh, I'm thinking this whole time. Okay, I know Slipknot has won in the past. The only person that is new to this Grammy category thing is Spirit Box, and I am going to talk in a video later. I'm going to talk about what songs, what performance I think should win, which one maybe will win. I'll do a breakdown of what I think of the Grammy nominees this year and talk about that whole process of voting as well. By the way, I just signed up to be one of those people that can vote in the Grammys hopefully next year. So fingers crossed, y'all. I want to impact this because it is important. Some huge bands like Slipknot, like Disturbed, like Metallica, this is another trophy to add to their case. But if you talk about some of the smaller bands, when they get that Grammy, that really can boost them in the front. It can change the trajectory of their career. So it is a very important thing. And I think about all of those people that get that list of what are you supposed to go listen to? What are you supposed to vote on? And they're like, oh, we have this screamer song. You have a horror film soundtrack that is going to have just tons of screaming. Go figure out if it's good or not. I seriously doubt that most people who are judging the Grammys are going to have any clue what makes a good scream. I've been really digging deep into this for a couple of years now. We are doing vocal research on this, intense vocal research, because we don't have enough data to actually tell us what a good scream is too. Some of it is going to be subjective, but there are objective things like, can you continue this scream for a long time and hopefully not damage yourself? We know that Corey Taylor got into trouble at some point earlier in his career, apparently shifted some things, came back and is doing it again and doing okay. So that's some information, I think, vocal technique wise, that he's probably shifted into a better spot. Anyhow, I don't know that many people would be able to listen to this and actually be a good judge for it. I don't even know if I'm a good judge yet, but I am really, really working to get there. All right, we're going to go back a little bit because I let that go for quite a while. I just love that opening line has got such a great scream from Corey Taylor, sustaining a harsh vocal like this for a long time, I think, can be much tougher than sustaining a clean vocal. And that's because there is so much breath pressure that's needed to create this really, for lack of a better word, aggressive sound. Yeah. Really cool sounds back there. It's almost like a little Jonathan from Korn. So I hear a lot of moments in there where Corey Taylor has added pitch to the distortion. You can make a totally distorted sound that doesn't really have a true pitch center underneath. It's more like this like shady mass when you look at it inside of some sort of editing software, like Isotope RX is the one I use and I love. He has got a pitch center in addition to the distortion. So that tells me that we probably have a few different things happening in his vocal tract. You have the vocal folds making a pitch. These are your most likely source for an actual note, like a right? That's a pitch. And they are designed to make pitches. They're not designed to make really crazy, awful sounds. When people try to make distorted sounds with their two vocal folds, that's when we tend to see more trouble come up. Now, above that, there are all kinds of fleshy bits that can collide and make noise. You could have your false vocal folds get in there. You could have your aryepiglottic folds. You might have like that kind of rattle from Louis Armstrong, this that kind of thing, right? You can have the epiglottis can get in there. It can do twisty things. You can see stuff also go and get really close. We saw that in the throat camera video with Real Ramos. We got to see down his throat and see this sort of like amazing black hole that happened and brought all of those structures closer together so that it was more easy for them to essentially collide, vibrate, and create some noise, some distortion on top of the sound. To know exactly what structures are creating that distortion, I would need to see down Corey Taylor's throat at this point. Often, we're finding a really good division between lower and upper structures. I definitely heard some upper structures here, and we can hear that. There's an acoustic sort of signature that I can say, oh, that's an upper structure. But there is just not enough research out there to definitively say, what upper structure? How is that positioned? We saw Will's throat do this crazy twist, which I had never encountered before, and the researchers in the room with me also had their jaws dropped. So we don't know what exactly is creating that distortion, except for it's above the true vocal folds, most likely. Let's go back. See if you can pick up the pitch versus the distortion. That part in there, it is so crazy, partly because you have moments where he goes totally clean for a moment. It makes you kind of feel like you want to put your hands on your head and just throw it around. It feels like you're losing your mind. You're just going insane inside. So that flip back and forth with distortion versus no distortion, sometimes we'll call that code switching, meaning that he's essentially bringing different muscle activation into play when he's flipping back and forth between the two types of sound. That's considered fairly taxing. You have to really figure out how to get both the total clean and the distorted sound. You have to figure out how to get both of them made with minimal effort so that you're not damaging yourself. So, hats off to Corey Taylor for doing that. When the carcass is down and the predator's around, you cannot play dead if you want to run free. You're such a tortured soul, but I don't want to hear about it. You say you're not involved, but all you do is think about it. Go bless the shit where you belong. For your own information, for your own entertainment, this hell comes to you live. And if you need some assistance, a little time to convince it, darling, you're sorted out. I'm so happy that we have some clean vocals in this. I have been wanting more and more acceptance for this ability to scream and sing cleans having that included in the same song and having people realize that the screaming is an extension of vocal expression. I love having that flip back and forth in a song. So very, very excited to hear that. I love the layers of harmony. I also got a lot of I've got this like Indiana Jones vibe. You know, that one, sorry, spoiler, the moment when that priest dude like holds up the heart and it's ba-bum, 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 and yeah, that for some reason, I forget the name of that particular Indiana Jones movie, but that one is very forward in my mind. And if you need some assistance, a little time to convince it, darling, you're sorted out. And I like that in here in the layers, when you put layers like this together, it's very common to tune things up to match them, especially if you're doing a cappella stuff. Like, I don't know of any a cappella group that's releasing finished pieces that hasn't used Melodyne at this point, okay? So we've got tons of layers of his voice. It would make sense to tweak it up a little bit, but if you tweak it up too much, you're going to lose some of the expression. And I think, very, very minimal tweaking, and it allows for moments every now and then to go sharp or just get a little extra edgy. I think that was really, really smart vocal production. Like right there. That lead was awesome. Woo! Gross. Gross, guys. Puke in the corner for a little bit, okay? I'm kidding, it's okay. Gosh, my stomach is slightly nauseated. Yeah. Gross. Y'all, gross. But the sounds are equally, actually, probably even more gnarly. Let's be real. Like, that, I think it was the sound of maybe a nail on a string at one point. Oh my gosh, they found so many ways to give me the heebie-jeebies. Wow, freaking masterpiece right here. Oh my gosh, I can't like watch the video and analyze the vocals at the same time. It's just, ew. Ew. Okay. When he first enters, there was an amazing, amazing scream there. I love hearing these sounds are very full. So in working with some people, learning how to scream some more, right? Both myself and lots of people. I have a really awesome course with Chris Lipe and Will Ramos about screaming. At this point, we've coached tons of people through it. I've tried tons of things myself. And what I think one of the more pleasing scream tones is when you have some more fullness, some more complexity in the sound. You don't want a scream that is sort of like just centered in one area. You want it to be like broadband, essentially. There are times for the centered part, FYI. But as your like main fundamental scream, you want it to be thick, but not necessarily taxing. There's a trade-off there. Anyhow, his was thick. You little bits of thing, you little digital graffiti, praise and don't close your eyes. When you're pulling your messages down, don't wanna go and slide. You'll be lucky if they dig it without making a sound. What a guy, God, I hope you fucking die and your sympathies don't mean shit. When the confidence goes and the predator knows, you better be dead if you wanna pay fine. It's such a Better be dead if you want to be.
But I know what I hear about. You say you're not involved, but all you do is think about it.
These lyrics are so intense, and it makes sense for intense vocal expression to go with them. Just had to say that. Keep going.
The government goes and the predator knows. You better be dead if you wanna be free. You're such a tortured soul, but I know what I hear about. You say you're not involved, but all you do is think about it. One more thing, it never gets out back. For your own information, for your own entertainment, this song comes to you live. And if you need some assistance, a little time to convince it. Dial in the sorted, protect the hive mind.
It's really interesting how the articulating gestures, I would say, of one instrument will draw me to the left, and then another instrument will draw me to the right. The production on this is incredible. I feel like there's so much clarity of so many different instruments. This is a great, great track to nominate for a Grammy, I think partly because of that masterful production. Their sound is so incredibly massive, yet in the production, they've managed to make everything so clear and detailed. Go back just a little bit. Maybe that feels good. So the scream has a really good clear pitch center underneath it, and then definitely it feels like maybe multiple points, multiple structures are doing some collision to create the distortion on top. I like, not only do I hear, it feels like a delineation between the sound sources there, but I also really like that it sounds like there's good breath support. It's almost like there's a legato underneath this harsh vocal. Which if you've listened to me talk about clean singing before, that's where you have this continuous line. And it's one of those things you aim for in opera, is having legato. And Pavarotti has tons of legato in his sound, for example. So I think that Corey Taylor does an amazing job of bringing legato to harsh vocals. Ooh, nice slide down with that there. Just want to go back. He's so good at doing slides. There's different ways that people can do slides with harsh vocals. When you're doing a pitch slide like that, you can do it with the true vocal folds and that distortion on top. That's possible. But I've seen a lot of people just do it by adjusting their mouth shape. When you adjust the mouth shape and the whole shape of the vocal tract essentially above wherever your sound source is, you're adjusting that resonance chamber to highlight deeper or higher tones. And so you can create this a slide that isn't necessarily centered on just like one particular pitch from the true fold. It's a very interesting effect. He's very good at that. It's very Borg. Very Borg. Well, that one would definitely win for grossest. Most stomach twisting ew. Gosh, I think that actually is probably the most ew video I've ever seen on the Charismatic Voice. Gosh. So, other person that's like me on the other side of this camera who has a sensitive stomach, how did you handle that? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see some more analysis of those Grammy nominees, you can check that out over here. I will be making a video soon talking about which one I think should win and maybe which one actually will win. So, until then, may you fall more in love with music every day.